all for joining us today. Crystal, first regular season home game at home. Big eruption of applause. What was that like?
Yeah, I mean, oh my gosh, what a home game to kind of step into. It was wild and crazy, just like the NWSL always is. But no, I felt very welcomed. I felt like I heard the energy and the atmosphere, in a massive uproar, and it was amazing. So yeah.
Welcome back. All right, we'll start taking questions. Jen, I think I saw you.
Oh, no, but I'll go.
Okay.
Okay.
And then Courtney will go to
So,
review.
and I think, and Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, but tonight was a record attendance for home opener.
Yes.
Regular season, and I think perhaps you have a big part of that coming to your hometown team and, the star power behind being an athlete player. Just, how does it feel, I guess, to, be part of, the movement and the growth of this club and contribute to it on and off the field?
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing this league for a very long time, and I think seeing the growth in each market, I think is really incredible because I think, as women, I feel like we have a massive responsibility to really promote growth, not even just in your own organization, but for the sport as a whole. So I played for, many different teams, and to be able to come back home is such a special opportunity, but to see that this club specifically is growing and pushing that fan base, I think is really incredible. It makes me really happy that I'm, hopefully helping leave this game better than when I found it.
Thank you so much. Courtney and then Nubia, and then Tess.
Courtney said that for United, we heard tonight it was your 150th at NWSL appearance.
Ooh.
Yeah. So how does it feel, and also how does it feel to be able to hit 150 in front of your crowd?
Yeah, I mean, 150, wow. Yeah, I'm really incredibly proud to be able to say that I've, made it this far and played this many games in the NWSL. I think it's a real honor to still be able to, feel good about just wanting to get out there and continue playing the sport. I think it's really incredible to see where this game has grown, obviously, but to do it in front of my home crowd, to be able to play this game in front of friends, family, people that I can look up and be like, oh my gosh, I know you, I think is really, it's really special. And I actually went into the game not knowing that I was at 150. People told me that after the game. I go, oh, wow, this is amazing. So really special surprise after the game.
Nubia and then Tess.
Hi, Crystal, Navy with the Shea Butter FC podcast. So it seemed like in the first half, prior to the game, that between the lines, it was more like everybody working in pods, having a hard time connecting. And in the second half, it was more cohesive. So what was the talk in the locker room?
Yeah, I think, for us, it was, nothing massive needed to change other than just, like you just touched on, it's stay more connected, be closer to players to be able to connect on the ball, but then obviously defensively when the ball turns over, if you're connected and close to players, you're able to win back the ball a little bit earlier and easier. So I think we did a better job of that in the second half. And honestly, it's early in the season. I think for me, I've played this game long enough to know that sometimes the start of a season does not really give the full picture of what, is soon to blossom into. And I think it's really cool to be a part of this program and be able to see the growth of all the players and to get to know so many different players and to share the field with amazing, talented players. And I think, the second half, we did play a bit better, and I think that is a glimpse of who this team is. We're a hard team to beat, and we don't give up. And I think I'm really proud of the group for fighting back and being able to at least come back and get a tie.
I'm Tess from New York One. It's been a big month for women's sports. This was a big night for Gotham and for you. How does being part of this team contribute to that growth?
Yeah, I mean, women's sports in general is on the up and up and climbing. You have the WNBA draft obviously happening tomorrow in Brooklyn. And I think it's a really exciting time. I think it's really incredible that people now have listened that if you just invest, man, you're gonna really see how amazing women are at playing their various sports. And I think being a part of this club right now, seeing the growth, obviously coming off of winning a championship last year and, just pushing to obviously, break new records this year is really exciting. And it really takes everybody to be a part of it. So I'm just happy that I play my role and I'm a part of it.
Jonathan Lehman, New York Post. Is it talk about the kind of awkwardness of there's last year's team, there's this year's team, there's a ring ceremony. Maybe it isn't awkward, but if it is, and how you're balancing kind of the celebrations for last year, it being a new season, and I noticed you ducked out before the.
Yeah, it was this is for the girls that obviously won it last year, and that's amazing, and I've been successful in my years. I've won 4, and I'm feeling good about. I'm comfortable in who I am and what I've accomplished, and I feel like this is a moment where people can really celebrate and feel connected with the group that obviously went on and won last year, and it wasn't awkward at all. I was like, oh, I'm tired. I'm about to go inside and kick my feet up. So. No, I think it's absolutely incredible. There's no awkwardness. I think the challenge for this team obviously was that, there was a lot of new players coming in. It never was going to be this like easy kind of like, oh, we jump in and everything's always smooth sailing. But I think the season's early, and like honestly, we've all felt very connected and committed to pushing and doing our role and impacting this game the best way that we possibly can.
Carrie and then Jenna.
Carrie Anderson, freelancing, but I'm curious about, even just a couple of months ago, you and did a press conference with Yale and your other new signees about, and talked a lot about really embracing the label of like being a super team, being a villain, all these kinds of things. Obviously the start to the season was a little bit, had some ups and downs, but do you think that pressure of those kind of labels have been a factor in how you'll have started this season?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's, always pressure. I think, in the off season, people are always checking to see where all the free agents are going or where new signings are going to be placed and things like that. And so I think, we always knew there was going to be pressure. And like I said, it's kind of like you look across the league, like it's wild. It's wild and crazy. And you got to just take it game by game, and you can't rest on your laurels, but at the same time, you also can't get bogged down too long about kind of missed results. I think you really just have to really lean on the depth of your team. I think that I've played this game long enough to know that it's not really about player 1 to 11 or player 1 to 14. It's about always embracing everybody on the team, because you're going to need everybody. And I think as long as this team stays committed to player 1 all the way to player 26, we're going to be just fine. And I think it's really about, just like I said, grinding it out and just working towards the next goal.
Follow-up, if that's okay. With tonight being kind of a frustrating draw, would you call tonight a missed result, or do you think that is
Yeah, there were moments where I think we pushed. We obviously were in their attacking, in their defensive half, and I think we created a lot of opportunities. I'm an attacking player, so I'm always going to feel like, like what more could have been done. But at the same time, like I'm proud of this team. We're hard to beat. Like we worked really hard defensively, and I truly believe defense wins championships. It's something that I truly believe in. I think the goals will come, the opportunities will keep being created, and I think as long as we are this team that is going to make it really hard for teams to score on us, I think we're always going to give ourselves the best chance to be successful in the end.
All right, Jenna, last question.
Actually, wanted to piggyback off Jonathan's question about the ring ceremony. Not whether it was awkward, but if it was motivational. Like, oh, I'm gonna be getting that ring.
Always. Yeah, no, I mean, I love collecting rings, and it's not easy though. Like honestly, it's like I said, it's like I've been in this league a really long time. I've been on a lot of 150 times I've played this game, and it's not easy. And I think like that's the beauty of it. Like when you are that team in the end, you're like, oh my gosh, I went through some really hard moments, some incredible opponents, and I think I'm determined and really motivated to help bring a second to this club, obviously. But I know it's not going to be easy, and it's gonna take everybody. So it's one game at a time, and we're on to the next.
Okay, really last question, Courtney.
We came out on halftime, and it seemed like when Gotham came out for the second half, there was a new motivation, maybe a new fire. If there was anything specific Juan Carlos still at halftime to kind of reignite that fire.
I mean, yeah, nothing was really told to us that we're like, oh yeah, like that's like life-changing like information. It's one of those things where it's like, I'm a veteran player. I know kind of what it takes to kind of really win back momentum. I think for me, I try to be a high energy player. I think the thing that you can control always is your work ethic and your ability to just really try to dominate an opponent. And I think when I came onto the pitch, I was like, oh, I just want to at least make whoever's up against me have a harder time, And I think that's something that you can control, and that's really what I tried to give the team when I subbed on.
All right. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you. Have a good night, guys.